Dear student, gradually you are developing the better evolved and mature perspective in the course Six Sigma. Last week you have gone through various concepts on project management, project life cycle and critical method, and you attended assignment 6. Here I will be presenting the solution of assignment 6 for your clarity and better understanding. There were 25 questions and only one answer was correct. Question 1. Which is not a key decision while selecting a project? You have 4 options: A. Selecting a project manager, B. Managing and controlling project resources, C. Selecting a project team, and D. Project extension time. You can see that the correct answer is D, and I can just elaborate on the answer. The following are the key decisions of selecting a project: deciding which projects to implement, selecting a project manager, selecting a project team, planning and designing the project, managing and controlling project resources, and deciding if and when a project should be terminated. So, in view of this, project extension time is not a key decision while selecting a project. Question 2. Which is not a part of trade-off triangle in project management? A. Quality, B. Cost, C. Time, and D. Scope. The correct answer is A. Quality. Quality is not a part of triangle, but it is an expected outcome. So, typically the 3 constraints in project management which we always talk about is time, cost, and scope. Question 3. Which is the correct sequence in the life cycle of a project? A. Transfer, concept, development and execution, B. Execution, development, transfer and concept, C. Concept, development, execution and transfer, and D. None of the above. The correct answer you can see here in an elaborated manner. On y axis there is level of total effort, and you can see the various phases on x axis. So, concept, development, execution and transfer, answer C is the correct. Question 4. Using rupees 1 lakh investments with a net cash inflow of rupees 25,000 per year for a period of 8 years, a required rate of return of 15% and an inflation rate of 3% per year, what will be the NPV, net present value of the project? You can see the 4 options A, B, C and D on the screen. The correct answer is D, rupees 1939. NPV of the project, I am presenting the complete solution, can be calculated as initial investment or initial cash investment is 0 plus sigma t is equal to 1 to n ft divided by 1 plus k plus pt raised to t. If you substitute the values in the given equation, NPV of the project is equal to minus 1 lakh plus sigma t is equal to 1 to 8, then 25,000 divided by 1 plus 0.15 plus 0.03 raised to t is equal to 1939. Question 5. Which is a numeric model in project selection models? The scared cow, payback period, the operating necessity, or the product line extension? You can see the correct answer is B, and the numeric models are payback period, average rate of return, and discounted cash flow. Also, for your knowledge, I am summarizing the non-numeric models, which are the second cow, the operating necessity, the competitive necessity, the product line extension, and comparative benefits. Question 6. Suppose a work element estimated to require 25 hours of labor by a technician. The specific technician assigned to this job is paid rupees 17.5 per hour. Overhead charges to the project are 84% of direct labor charges. What will be the appropriate cost? A, rupees 805, B, rupees 901, C, rupees 765, and D, rupees 840. So the correct answer is A. The appropriate cost will be 25 hour into rupees 17.5 into 1.84, that is rupees 805. Question 7. Which is a marketing factor that is included in project evaluation factors? A, change in size of labor force, B, impact on current product line, C, impact on cash flows, and D, impact on current suppliers. You can see the correct answer is B. The marketing factors which are included in project evaluation factors: size of potential market for output, probable market share of output, time until market share is acquired, impact on current product line, consumer acceptance, impact on consumer safety, estimated life of output, spin-off project possibility, and the number 4, which is one of the options in our question, is the B, which is the correct answer. Question 8. All of the following are true concerning expected monetary value, typically called as EMV, except A. EMV is a statistical concept that calculates the average value of a future scenario that may or may not happen by multiplying the value of each possible outcome by the probability of it occurring and summing the products. B. The EMV of an opportunity is generally a positive value. C. The EMV of a trade is generally a negative value. And D. Decision tree analysis are more effective using net present values in its calculations rather than EMV. The correct answer is D, and you can see the solution also. EMV is calculated as probability into impact, and if there are several different possibilities, the EMV is calculated for each option and the EMV is added together to give an overall value, and decision tree analysis is based on EMV. You have question 9. How expected time can be calculated? You are given A as optimistic time, B as pessimistic time, and M as most likely time. You can see the 4 options A, B, C, and D on the screen, and the correct answer is C, A plus 4M plus B divided by 6. Question 10. IT project execution requires knowledge of system development methodologies such as SDLC, Python, R, or Fortran. The correct answer is A, that is SDLC. So, IT project execution requires the knowledge of system development methodologies as SDLC, which is called Systems Development Lifecycle, prototyping, RAD, Rapid Application Development, and Purchasing Life Cycle. The correct answer is SDLC. Question 11. The process by which risks to the project are formally identified quantified and managed is A. Acceptance management, B. Issue management, C. Risk management, and D. Change management. The correct answer to this question is C. Risk management. You can see an elaborated answer. Risk management is the process by which risks to the project are formally identified, quantified, and managed. There are three other terms like issue management, which is used to find out the issues affecting the project. Change management is the process by which changes to the project scope, deliverables, time scales, resources are formally requested, evaluated, and approved prior to the implementation. And there is an acceptance management is the process of gaining customer acceptance for deliverables produced by the project. So, the correct answer is C, that is risk management. Question 12. A Pareto diagram shows A. the 80% of the work that is important, B. a histogram ordered by frequency of occurrence, C. the qualitative improvement trend demonstrated by implementing a Six Sigma initiative, and D. the 20% of the work that is causing the most issues. The correct answer is B, and you can see that Pareto diagram is a specific type of diagram ordered by frequency of occurrence, and it is used to show how many defects were generated by each category of identified cause to allow remedial action to be focused on the most significant. Question 13. Integrated change control includes all of the following tools and techniques except A. expert judgment, B. meetings, C. a change control board to approve reject changes, and D. project management plan updates. The correct answer is D. Project plan updates are an output from integrated change control and hence not the part of it. Expert judgment, meetings, and change control board to approve or reject changes are the identified tools and techniques for integrated change control. Question 14. When managing a complex cross-functional project, which of the following structures will give the project manager the most authority? A. strong matrix, B. balanced matrix, C. functional matrix, and D. weak matrix. The correct answer is A. strong matrix organization provide the project manager with a similar high level authority to a projectized organization and full-time project administration staff. Matrix organization include both functional and projectized management structures. Question 15. Which of the following is true concerning the work breakdown structure typically called as WBS? The options are A. the WBS is the same as the organizational breakdown structure OBS, B. the WBS is a hierarchical decomposition of the total scope of work to be carried out by the project team, C. the PMI WBS and product breakdown structure that is called PBS are effectively the same thing, and D. the WBS is the bill of materials needed to accomplish the work of the project. The correct answer to question number 15 is B, and you can see that the difference between PBS and the WBS is that the PBS only contains the product to be delivered, wherein WBS contains all of the work needed to achieve the project's objectives, including all of the deliverables, not just the product. Non-product elements in the WBS include project management work, safety, hygiene, and etc. If you look at the WBS, is the document that defines the lines of management, responsibility within the project, and WBS and OBS intersection is known as control account and defines the manager responsibility for a selection of the project work. And as you know, BOM basically lists the materials to be used in the work and not the other element of the project, and WBS defines all the work and consequently all the cost. Question 16. Analogous estimating when applied to a duration is A calculation based on 3-point estimate using modified beta distribution, B based on expert judgment and is consequently more accurate than standard critical path estimating, C used when there is a limited amount of detailed information available, and D the same as bottom up estimating. So, you can very well judge from the description A, B, C and D that analogous estimating, the answer is C, and analogous estimating is used when there is a limited amount of detailed information available. If you look at the part, it uses 3-point estimates and a modified beta distribution to assess the probability of completing the project. Question number 17. All of the following statements are true about product and project life cycle except A. Generally, a product life cycle is contained within a project life cycle. A product life cycle is determined by the organization and generally consists of phases that may be sequential or overlapping. C. A product life cycle is determined by the organization and generally consists of sequential phases. And D. Generally, a project life cycle is contained within a product life cycle. The correct answer to question number 17 is A. Generally, a product life cycle is contained within a project life cycle is incorrect, and the reason is very obvious that product life cycle is a bigger domain and hence project life cycle comes within the product life cycle and not otherwise. You can see the question 18. You are given some data. A project has been defined to contain the following list of activities along with their required times for completion. You have activity number 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10. You have different sets of activity, let us say collect requirements, analyze processes, analyze data, design processes, design data, design screens, design reports, program, test and document and install. You are given the time duration in weeks for each activity. For example, activity number 1 collect requirements 3 weeks, number 2 analyze processes 2 weeks, number 6 design screens 2 weeks and number 10 install 2 weeks. You are given the immediate predecessor which can help you to identify successor predecessor relationship, and now the question is that what is the project completion time? You can see that 24 weeks when you go by the path enumeration method and evaluate the different paths, you have 24 weeks as the completion time. Now, the question 19 is related to question 18 and it asks which path is the critical path in question 18. So, as we understand that the critical path is the longest path which ensures the completion of the project, and it is not possible to complete the project in any time less than the time decided by the critical path. So, if you look at the network developed based on the successor predecessor relationship and also look at the computations performed previously, then 24 week is the longest path and 1, 2, 4, 7, 9 and 10 is the critical path. The correct answer is C. Question 20. What is the basic difference between CPM and PERT? A. CPM is deterministic and PERT is probabilistic. B. CPM is probabilistic and PERT is deterministic. C. PERT is statistical technique of project management. And D. CPM is a management of unpredictable activities. You can see the answer. Correct answer is A. CPM is deterministic and PERT is probabilistic. PERT deals with the unpredictable activities and CPM deals with the predictable activities. Question 21. Say we have the process arrival time chart given below. According to the Gantt chart, what will be the waiting time for process 4 when the process would be scheduled using first come first serve basis? You can see that in the table you are given P1, P2, P3, P4, P5 processes. Arrival times are given and execution time are given in the last column. We can perform a small computation and I can put it in the tabular format. So P1 it begins at 0 and you can see that execution time is 16. P2 is execution time is 10 and hence can be completed at 26 and so on. Now there is a simple rule. If you want to find in FCFS first come first serve the waiting time for each process, then it can be found as time of completion minus arrival time minus execution time. And if we see for the process 4 it is 36 minus 7 minus 6, that is 23. So the waiting time for the process 4 is 23 and the correct answer is A. Similar way you can find out the waiting time for all the processes. For P1 it is 0, P2 it is 16, P3 it is 20, P4 it is 24 and P5 28. Question 22. Consider the following data of a project. What is the probability of completing the project on or before 20 weeks? If you look at the data, you are given various activities A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. You are given the predecessors which can help you to develop a network diagram and you are given 3 different time estimates A, M and B. For example, activity A, it can take 1 week, it can take 2 weeks or it can take 3 weeks. Similar way you have 3 time estimates, optimistic, pessimistic and most likely for all the activities. Now what is the probability of completing the project on or before 20 weeks? That is the question. So the correct answer is 0.9382 and what you can do here is a little computation. So first 5 columns are repeated as it is. You can find the expected duration and you can also find the variance. Now the sum of the variances of all the activities is 3.78 weeks, that is 0.11 plus 0.11 plus 1.78 plus 1.78 and hence sigma standard deviation is square root of 3.78, that is 1.945 weeks. Now what is the probability that project completion time x is less than or equal to 20? This can be found easily as probability x minus mu by sigma less than or equal to 20 minus 17 divided by 1.945 equal to z is probability z is less than or equal to 1542. So I have converted probability x is less than or equal to 20 into standard normal format and using the standard normal table you can find the corresponding probability for z less than or equal to 1.542 which is 0.9382. So the correct answer is 0.9382. Question 23. In any project network, the execution of various activities can be expedited if necessary by removing a dummy activity, omitting an activity, cost trade-off, and crashing. So, the correct answer is D, that is crashing. And as you know, project duration can often be reduced by allocating or assigning more resources over time, and this can help you to reduce the project completion time. But obviously, you cannot make it 0 because each activity has certain crashing possibility, and project crashing, answer D is correct. Question number 24, the incremental cost of expediting that activity per unit period can be obtained by, where you are given some nomenclature. Cn is normal cost, Cc is crash cost, Tn is normal time, and Tc is crash time. So, you can see the 4 options on the screen, all are giving slope, and the correct answer is C, that is slope is equal to Cc minus Cn, Tn minus Tc. The slope of crashing an activity is given as Cc minus Cn, Tn minus Tc. Last question in assignment 6 is question 25. Consider the following problem involving activities from A to G. What will be the total float and free float for activity J? So, you have 4 options, A 5 months and 6 months, B 5 months each, C 2 months each, D 6 months each. And you look at the data, the activities A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, immediate predecessor and duration in months for each activity. Now, as we know that various floats can be defined as total float Ij is LC, latest completion J minus earliest completion Ij, free float Ij is equal to earliest start J minus earliest completion Ij EC, total float Ij is equal to total float from node I to J, free float is equal to free float from node I to J, and so on. Earliest start J is earliest start time of the node J, and earliest completion time Ij is earliest completion time of activity from I to J. So, using these expressions, you can find out the floats for each of the activity, total float and free float, and we are supposed to find the float for activity J, which is 5 each, 5 months each, and hence the correct answer is B. So, with this I have presented the solution of assignment 6, and I hope this exercise is interesting as well as fruitful in revisiting your concepts learned during the lecture hours and also relating theory with the practices. Please continue with the same rigor, and subsequently I will give you the assignments in the coming weeks specifically related to the content you have learned during the week. Wish you all the best. Thank you.